we get this rolling. Um, yeah, that's really it. Um, it's like a podcast in the car, but instead of talking about topics, we're just talking about it. We debate them depending on the topic, depending on what it is. It doesn't have to be something specific. Um, the first topic today, if we just want to get off rip, is that YouTube's dying. It's just a generalized statement that YouTube is dying. I think it's partially true, just because the problem that I see occurring all the time is that the YouTubers that are already, popular, got the following and everything, they don't have to do much of anything. Now, obviously, you could say, well, obviously, because, they're already popular. But they don't have to do much of anything in terms of, staying relevant. They could release garbage for 6 months, and nobody would probably say anything for 6 months. Now, depending on the YouTuber, depending on who it is, depending on their fan base and how those fan bases would react, I guess, you could say differently. But when it comes to just like, in general, YouTube, how for this video to blow up, probably nobody's even probably gonna watch this video, realistically. Like, statistically speaking, too, nobody's probably gonna watch this video just because I don't have a following. I got 30 fucking subscribers. I kind of just shit post when it comes to it. I post some meaningful things, but some of the stuff that I also post is just kind of just post, like I'm not really looking for validation. I'm not really looking for somebody to tell me like, "Oh, you're doing great," because I already know. I know what I'm doing ish. I'm making videos just for people to watch. And that's like, I'm not the Danny Duncans. I'm not the Mr. Beasts. Most of the time, like I kind of just want to sit down and talk about just life. Kind of just what's going on. Not what's going on necessarily in the world, because I feel like that's kind of depressing, but like just kind of how what I think about things and what other people think about things and our opinions on them, and then judgment, arguing, because obviously it's just me, but once you got four people up in here, arguing if oranges or apples are the best, that's when you're gonna find out if oranges and apples are the best. Which one's the goat? You don't know. You don't. That's why you gotta debate it. Because maybe there's two people watching this video. One's like oranges, one's like apples. You're not gonna figure it out, man. You're gonna need a debate. You're gonna need to figure that out. And that's what this is, really. This is like the Congress car, but we're not calling it that. We're calling it CarCast because that's what I came up with. Mention its name in the future, don't know. Right back on topic though, with YouTube is dying. It's really hard to gain traction when you're just starting out, or just starting to learn the technical thing, like the editing and the spacing of clips and all that shit, and all the methods to what people want to watch and how people want to watch it, how fast paced it's got to be. It's 2024. It's so up and at 'em and just different nowadays than how it was when I was watching YouTube, when I started watching the Jacksepticeyes and the PewDiePies and the Markipliers, the Quibble Cops. Shout out to all of them. That go to YouTube. I would say that's like Mount Rushmore. Put them on the mountain. At the end of the day, like, the only thing you can do about it is just keep doing it. And that's how I feel with it. That's what I've been trying to do. And it's just a lot of the times it's just kind of difficult, because you'll see people post a video that's like a post. It's a shit post. It's not supposed to be popular. Or maybe it's supposed to be popular, but that wasn't their intention, was to try and make it popular. And then the video's got 156k likes, and it's a cat meowing 4 times, and the last time a dog barks. I don't know. I get it. I watch those videos too. I laugh at them, and I'm probably the reason why it's on my feed. But at the end of the day, it's pretty dumb. And it's like that brain rot term. People be talking about brain rot, and how that's not. Like, you're not watching a video. You're watching a 30-second clip of, not even a 30-second clip, but probably a 10-second clip, 15-second clip of a freaking dude jumping off a roof and I don't know, it's just dumb. It's kind of stupid when it comes to actual content creators that are actually trying to produce content that people will watch, when it comes to just sitting down and scrolling for a little bit. majority of the people's posts, you know, they get filled up with just shit posts, and it's just brain rot, just dumb memes, whatever. And obviously that's your algorithm that you're processing and making at that same time and adding to it. So like, and most people don't want to probably watch me sit here and talk on their feed or whatever about that YouTube is dying, because the general population probably doesn't care that YouTube is dying, because not most people are trying to do YouTube. But, you know, at the end of the day, I could just be a barber, you know, cut in a shop, not, you know, trying to expand my whatever, just cut in the shop, that's it, no, nothing else. Rather, I could post on Instagram and YouTube and trying to get exposure out to get more clients. And obviously that's not necessarily what I'm doing it because I want to make YouTube videos, because this isn't even barber related. But I want to make YouTube videos, and I want to be able to make something entertaining for somebody to watch that's not brain rot, or that's not just pointless. Like you watch something and get something out of it. You know, you connect to the person somehow about what they're talking about, or what they've gone through, what they're going through, and just all of that, you know, just to help people figure out how they want to live their life, but without forcing something upon them for some reason that I believe in. Because, like, why would I tell you that, like, this is how YouTube is, or whatever, that YouTube, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you YouTube is dying. That's what I think. But there's probably plenty of people out there that don't think YouTube is dying at all, and it's the strongest it's ever been. And I could probably partially agree to that at some point. But then there's also, you know, you're going to talk about the Kick streamer and all the streamers and all those fellas, you know, because they're doing everything right, doing nothing wrong, content-wise, you know. So, like, I can't even really compare those, because YouTube's been around for so long, and it's such a, there's a blueprint, you know, that you got to follow, but that blueprint is slowly being burned. So it's like, nowadays, like, the method to get YouTube, or the method to get that traction and everything, is just so, it's out of reach for people like me, unless I know somebody that knows somebody or whatever, or I started years and years ago, like, and then had traction then, and then what, you know, like, I don't know, a lot of it comes down to, like, me as a YouTuber. Like, am I gonna take this seriously? Because, like, you got a full-time job, you go to work every day. It's not like you wake up and it's like, I ain't finna do it, you know. So, like, that's where I probably struggle too a lot, with the consistency and actually posting content that you guys would enjoy. But it's a little discouraging too on the flip side, because, you know, I post something and it gets 10 views, no likes, nothing. 10 people saw it, and that's it. Now, that's a YouTube video. Now, I'd say my shorts are a little bit more, you know, in the hundreds, maybe thousands, depending on the video, whatever it is. But even then, like, I'll see whoever post a video of nothing spectacular, and it gets 100 million likes, you know, way off. Like, and like I said, like, it's very, Steve could do something that I would do. Steve will do it. Steve could do something that I would do and get way more likes, way more whatever it is, just because Steve did it. And now, obviously, because Steve has that following, but what's the difference? Why is it because when Steve does it, it's this, but when I do it, it don't really matter. It's not that cool. Call me dumb. Call me whatever. That's fine. I don't care how I feel. That's how and I think it's a little bit wild that we'll sit here and just validate them and validate what they're doing when it's, you know, maybe it's not wrong, but it's not great. It's not healthy. You know, when Steve was chugging them liter bottles of alcohol, nobody was telling him to stop, but that shit is unhealthy. Who knows what he had to go through because of that? We know a fraction of his life and a fraction of what he does. Maybe he doesn't want the fame. Maybe he doesn't want to be popular no more. Maybe he doesn't want to be YouTube famous. Trying to do YouTube. So, like, maybe once I get there, I'm not going to want to be famous, or famous and whatever, in quotes, as famous as you can be doing YouTube. Because some people look at that too, and it's not. You're not famous. You're not a real actor. You're not a real comedian. You're just some dude that picked up the camera and started yapping. But, like, no, not at all. Not that this took some thought, but you know, I'm sitting up here giving my own personal opinions. I'm gonna post this video. So like, now if you're gonna sit there and agree with me or disagree with me, that's your decision. But nobody's wrong. Nobody's gonna be like flagged for it. It is what it is. It is what you want to do. It is how that is. Like you do what you want to do regardless of what other people are saying at all, depending on what you're doing, obviously. But if you're just making a YouTube video and casting your own opinion, it's as authentic as you're gonna get. Me just sitting here talking, you know, there's some splices, some cuts, whatever, but it don't really matter. Most of this is the same clip all throughout. We're at 12:54 right now, so I'm just talking. It'll get spliced up, but there ain't much to really go towards this either. I mean, it's YouTube's dying. I mean, I could probably have 3 solid points. If I was with somebody else, they'd have 3 solid rebuttals. And then we would go from there. It'd probably be a little bit more content, a little bit more entertaining. But I think some people will still find this entertaining. Maybe. I don't know. Depending on how it's edited and how fast it is. Some people got a short attention span. Some people can't just sit here and listen to me talk. And that's the sad part too. Some probably clip this and put it on the TikTok if I was the Nelk Boys, if I was Danny Duncan, if I was whoever it is, this would be clipped and put on TikTok and be like, all facts. So and so's talking facts. But blah 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 blah. That's facts. But since it's me, this probably will never get clipped, never put on Instagram, never put on TikTok. Most people will not probably ever see this. Now, if I eat my words, I'll eat my words. It doesn't matter, but 30 people are gonna see this. Maybe 5 out of the 30 are gonna agree with me. And that'll be it. And that'll be the video, and it'll be what it is, and I'll be happy with it. Because regardless of what it is, I'm gonna come up with another video the next day, and the next day, because like I talked about previously in this video, just being consistent and being able to be on what you need to be on to do it. And, you know, like, so you got a full-time job, you're not just skipping out a couple days because you don't want to go. You're going to the job. So that's what I need to do. I need to go to my job. I need to start doing this like I want to do it, and not just because I like the idea of it or whatever it is, you know. And like I said, also, I'm a barber, so some of this might be barber related, but I don't want it to be necessarily. I want it to be just me, authentic Mason, whatever it is. Boom, name dropped. Stupid. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Until next time, stay smooth.